Hey boys and girls, this is part two of your current event example that we will again put into our notebooks. Hopefully by now you've got your example glued in here, right? We called it a flipper and it's in opposite this page, okay? So the next thing we want to practice a few times here is a starting topic, a limited topic, and then writing a topic sentence together. So let's use that article we just read, joining the men's club, to do that. If we had to pick one word, one single word that this article is about, it's probably about women, okay? They're the key what. That is the question that article really answers. It's about women in general, okay? What else do we know about the article from what we read? We know that a woman could be the new face of the bill. Which bill? The $10 bill. We know a lot of other things. We know that Alexander Hamilton might be replaced. There was talk about Andrew Jackson. They're not sure when it's going to be. We might also put on there the year. Okay? So make sure you write those things down up here at the top on our example page. Starting topic, limited topic. Okay, so there's our starting topic and limited topic written in. The next thing that I did was I actually put those two things, three things together there, and I created a topic sentence right below your limited topic, starting topic. Write it down, the one that I came up with, and it should look pretty good. So here it is. Remember, our goal in the summary is to cover the who, what, where, and the when. Okay, and we can already see up here that I've got the who, I've got the what, I've got the when, okay? So here it is. First sentence. We could soon see a new face, a woman's face, on the $10 bill. Only one other lady has been on a paper certificate, Martha Washington. Women in the past have prominently been on dollar coins. The Secretary of the Treasury says the new lady will most likely replace Alexander Hamilton, despite some people not agreeing with it. Okay, finish writing that in, and that obviously again is going right there. Go ahead and pause the video. Okay, our second to last step is to write a reaction. Your reaction, once again, is your connection. We have text to self, and text to world. All right, here's what I thought after I read the article. Okay, so right below your summary, write this down. I wrote down, this currency face change reminds me of collecting $1 Susan B. Anthony coins as a kid. I think overall this is an example of how America is moving in a progressive direction. Soon we may have the first woman president. A bill with a woman's face will show progressivism the same way. All right, now that you have taken some time to write your summary and your reaction in your notebook, 4 sentences in your summary at least, 3 sentences in your reaction, our final step is to make a map or to get a map. All right? Want to talk a little bit about maps so that we are clear on what makes a bad map, a good map, and a really good map. All right? Our goal with the map is to show where the article takes place. In this case, it was really kind of tricky. Most of the time, there is a spot on your article that'll tell you the author's name right in here and where they're from. Or it'll tell you in the article exactly where the place is about. So those are your 2 keys. Here, it doesn't tell you where the article was written. And in here, it doesn't really name a place. So we had to get a little bit crafty. All right, so being crafty, I had to go back to the article and find out where anywhere could be, really. And I looked back to here, and it says U.S. Bureau of Engraving. I did a quick Google search, And I found out that that is in two places, one of which is Washington, D.C. I forget the other place right now, but Washington, D.C. is good enough, so I'm going to use that. So I went to the World Wide Web because I stink at drawing, and I found maps like these two of Washington, D.C. Now, these are great maps if you are living right near or in Washington, D.C. But what if I've never been there? Your goal is to show the reader exactly where Washington, D.C. is in the world or bigger pictures so that they can pinpoint it and be like, okay, I get it. So, those are two examples of a bad map because we could have this section of our world here in the white in Wisconsin or in Alaska or in China. Doesn't matter. So, here's a better map. Okay? I know where Washington, D.C. is precisely in the United States. And I can say, hey, that's not terribly far from Wisconsin, but yet it's still pretty far away. This would be an even better map. Okay? This map is the best because it's telling me that DC is pretty much sandwiched between Maryland and Virginia, right there in the red. And I have this other map right here that shows me again where it is. So, understand this. These maps right here aren't always going to be able to be easily found. So, if that's the case, we can settle for something like this. All right, that wraps up our sample current event. The next thing that you're going to do is pick your very first current event article. I'm going to wish you good luck after this final note. Read and highlight your article very carefully for the who, what, where, when, and the why if it's there. Second, you're going to write a topic sentence. If it's troublesome to you, go back to this little slip right here and think about your starting topic, limited topic, and combine those. After that's done, write 3 more sentences in your summary for a total of 4. Second to last, write your reaction. This is a connection. Text to self, text to world, text to text. What does it remind you of? What do you think about it? And finally, find a map. Hand draw it or go to Google and print one off. Good luck.